Hello again everyone, welcome back to Let's Play Broken Sword Shadow of the Templars. Now I stupidly didn't save it, so everything I did towards the end of the last video when I made it that extra little bit longer, I haven't done. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go straight to doing what I was going to do, first of all by saving it, and my plan is to go to the church, as we were going to do at the end of the last video, and just do that bit and then talk to Andre about everything else afterwards. It's not essential that we talk to this guy here because we've already spoken to him. So let's have a look at that first though.
Fixed to the wall was a sign in 3 languages.
Okay, you gonna read it, George?
In French, English, and German it read, "In 1312, Pope Clement V dissolved the Knightly Order of the Templars and excommunicated its members on charges of heresy. In the following 2 years, many of the knights were hanged on this site. Their Grand Master, Jacques de Molay, was burnt at the stake on an island in the Seine."
Okay, so we need to now go.
A row of old pews, beautifully carved and glowing with polish. I thought of all the people who must have sat here over the decades. All those Parisian derrieres, firm buttocks of the young ladies, the flabby flesh of the old men. That wasn't a pleasing image, so I went back to the young ladies. Whoa! I didn't have time to sit around. A priest stood by the pews, energetically polishing something. Waiting in prayer for the judgment day. A knight's tomb, his effigy in marble lying in perpetual state.
Okay.
A knight there in the company of his fellows. Biblical references engraved into the tomb edge to guide his way to the next world, I guess. Just think, there's a dead guy under there. A stone knight lay on the church floor. I was surprised Philip le Bel had left this place alone. The second stone knight in a row of 4 lay on the church floor. A huge stained glass window formed a magnificent centerpiece for its neighbors. I didn't recognize the biblical story in it. I was a Sunday school dropout. An enormous window. In comparison to its neighbor, it looked pretty plain. A huge arched window. Somehow it looked more modern than its neighbor.
Okay.
A stone knight lay in full stone armor, blank eyes looking at the ceiling. Carrying all that armor around must have been hard work. A stone knight lay at the end of a row of 4. I wondered if this guy had died in combat.
Excuse me, Father.
Pardon?
Do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
Not at all, monsieur. It will be my pleasure to help you.
What do you know about the Knights Templar?
You have come to the right place, if that is your interest. Many of them were executed in the square outside. It was a disgrace to France.
Well, the Pope was right behind it, though.
Clement V was a man of mammon, not of God.
That's kind of forthright for a priest, isn't it?
You think so? It is hard to be sure what happened. It is so long ago.
How long have you worked here?
Hardly work, monsieur. This is a calling. I have been helping Father Flambert for nearly 6 months now.
I noticed that the stained glass window on the left looks more modern than the middle one.
You have a keen eye, monsieur. The original window was destroyed in the last war. It was as old as the church, early 14th century.
Oh man, that's awful.
Oui, a terrible loss. Still, the church and the other windows survived.
Is the right-hand window original?
Oui, monsieur.
You must be proud to have such an incredible collection of stained glass.
Pride is a sin, monsieur, but it is hard not to marvel when the light shines through them. It is a fine example of the artisan's genius.
I guess you don't know much about the history of this church then.
Just a little.
You've got quite a shine on that candlestick.
Ah, oui. Anything less than best would be an insult to the Almighty.
I guess so. I never thought of it like that. Have you ever seen anything like this lens?
No, never. The glass seems subtly colored in some way.
Yeah, I've never noticed that before. There's grease paint on this tissue.
Oui, you are correct.
I thought about using the shake and shock on him, but I couldn't do that to a priest. I was in Ireland recently and I brought back this plaster.
My sister brought back a shillelagh.
I have here a sewer key.
Ah, oui?
I don't know why I'm showing you this.
Neither do I.
Have you ever heard of this guy?
No, monsieur. I'm afraid not. Is he a friend?
Not really. More of an acquaintance. Have you seen this man before?
No, I have never seen him before.
I've got a red nose.
Oui, so you have.
What do you make of this chalice?
It certainly looks very old.
About as old as this church, I think.
There seems to be an engraving on it.
Yeah? What does it say?
I do not know. It is very tarnished. With your permission, I could try polishing it. I promise I will be very careful.
That'd be very good of you.
This shouldn't take very long. Feel free to look around.
Okay, thanks. The priest was still busy with the chalice, so I decided to have another look around the church. A statue of a knight holding a staff and a scroll. Per disciplinum meum lux videbis. A bit of a stained glass window. Wow! Hoping for a big insight while squinting through a hunk of statuary had been pretty optimistic, I guess. A statue of a knight. The statue had any secrets. It was concealing them pretty well.
Well, we all know what we need to do here.
The lens fitted into the end of the scroll like a hand into a glove. Hey! A Knight Templar burning at the stake, and a date. Let me see. MCCCXIV. That's 1314. A Knight Templar burning at the stake, and a date.
I remember doing that for the first time. It was just an ingenious bit of thought there by the developers, and deserves real credit, I think,
Hello
on
again,
their
Father.
terms, on their front. I mean,
Hey, thanks.
'Tis my pleasure, monsieur.
What was the writing on the chalice?
It was not writing, my mistake. It was a coat of arms. The remarkable thing is that it seems very familiar.
Yeah?
Oui, I think I have seen it on that wall tomb in the far corner. That winged horse is quite distinctive.
Did you know that the center window conceals an image of a man burning at the stake?
The Burning Man?
What, you knew?
That there was a hidden image? No. But the church has a reputation for being haunted. Many times people have claimed to have seen a burning man in the window. But when others they look, there is nothing. Perhaps the light has to be just so for the figure to appear.
Yeah, or maybe you need a special lens. Boy, what a shine you got on this.
Merci. It is all in the wrist action.
Catch you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Okay.
No. It couldn't be. Could it? No. Now that my attention had been drawn to it, there was no mistake. There was no name on it. But the coat of arms was undeniably the Pegasus of the De Vasconcelos family. I'd found the last resting place of Don Carlos. My eye was drawn to the biblical references carved into the edge of the tomb. Hey, maybe these biblical references mean something. Psalms 32:7, John 4:11, Corinthians 1:4-5, and just one more, Psalms 22:21. I may not be perfect, but I've got a memory like a steel trap. The chalice had led me to these inscriptions, but it looked like a happy coincidence to me. After all, the De Vasconcelos arms were already on the manuscript. Note, I was still convinced that the chalice had some significance all of its own.
Yeah, and I've just realised we don't go back to Spain just yet. There's a couple of things we need to do in Paris. So I want to get this game done, preferably tonight if I can. So probably what I'm going to do, I'm going to continue doing a video until I'm going to do this next bit. I'm going to do one bit in one video because it's decent enough. Excuse me. It's decent enough to do it in one video, and I need to get, if not completed today, a good amount of it done and dusted. Let's go back and see Nico, shall we?
Hi, how you doing?
Fine, George. I saw this story this morning. It won't make me Journalist of the Year, but I can't afford to pay the electric bill. What have you been up to?
Listen, remember the missing Spanish Templar? I found his tomb in the church at Montfaucon.
So he's dead, then?
I wish you wouldn't be so sarcastic.
I was only joking, Georges. The Countess will be delighted.
Yeah, maybe this'll help lift the curse.
What now? Are you going to dig up his bones?
There's no need for that. Well, not yet. What I still don't understand is the significance of the chalice.
Yes, there must be something we're missing.
Look at the chalice now, Nico.
What happened? It's shiny.
The priest at Montfaucon buffed it up for me.
That's incredible.
Yeah, looks as good as new.
No, you found a use for a priest. That's incredible.
Hey, Nico, shake hands with me.
No chance, Buster.
Okay.
I'll be back as soon as I can.
Okay.
There's another place in Paris that you need to go to. Also, at this point, I have now uploaded all of the Gabriel Knight videos, so I need to do another session on that soon. That's not finished yet. I've been doing mostly this. I've got quite a lot of parts of this, and I don't like having a lot of parts on with of games. So I'm probably going to start another LP tomorrow. It's at the moment it's sort of 20th of December. And some of you may remember me doing well, by the time you watched this, I probably would have uploaded it, but I was doing a small, no, not Rougerie. I was doing a small game a while ago, last year actually, called In Cold Blood. I got to a certain point and I stopped. I cancelled it. I can't remember why. I think I just couldn't be asked to do it anymore. I think I got bored of it. But I've realised that a lot of the games that now that I've got more subscribers, and to all the new people who have subscribed to me, I really appreciate it. By the time this video goes out, it'll most likely be in mid-January. So I'm looking when we get this on In Cold Blood up after I've uploaded all of this game.
Where have you been? Nicole said you were away.
I just returned from Syria.
Syria? On the trail of the Templars?
It's a long story, but
We've already done this.
In lots, like I said. What do you make of this cup, Andre?
It's a 14th century communion vessel. Spanish, probably.
You sure know your onions. You didn't say...
Didn't quite.
Well, that's hardly surprising.
I know. She was more...
While I was in Syria, I discovered a strange pagan statue. It was like a head with 3 bearded faces. Horrible.
That sounds as if it could be Baphomet, the idol described by the Templars.
The poor Knights of Christ had an idol that looked like that?
Allegedly. The description of the idol came from the evidence extracted by the Inquisition. Mind you, not one statue or idol was ever found on Templar property. Until now, that is. Just last month, a statue of Baphomet was unearthed right here in Paris.
Where?
At the Institut Hermétique de Naval. The statue is beneath the foundations. It was discovered by some workmen while renovating the building.
Can you tell me any more about the statue of Baphomet?
It's a fearful image, even now. A bearded head. The base of the statue is carved with Templar symbols. One of the workmen noticed a curious stain at the base. He claimed it looked like blood.
Blood?
That's right.
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
The case was empty. The glass case was intact, but the tripod had been replaced by a sign reading, "Exhibit temporarily removed."
Right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to Nico, because whenever you go to the excavation, you ring Nico, and you say, I'm there, but they're not letting me in. She goes, damn, we have to know what's in there. But she doesn't know you go there. She doesn't know that information, because I never actually go and tell her. So for the purpose of this, I'm going to go and tell her. See if that actually does work. So yeah, and then afterwards we will do the site before it in one video. It's quite a lengthy bit because I want to show off a couple of funny things. I will be doing a montage of the funny moments.
Hi, how you doing?
I've got a guy who can help me do that.
Fine, George.
Oh, great. It doesn't actually give me a shot.
I'll be back as soon as I can.
Okay.
Anyway guys, I'm going to call that video, so thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ta for now.